All right. So, chapter 1, section 6, subtracting integers. What did we say 8 plus a negative 9 is?
-1.
Right, 9 minus 8, one's positive, one's negative, so we subtract them. 9 is bigger, it's negative, it gets the negative sign. Now, the next one, you have 11 negatives plus 18 more negatives. So look, we're going from 0 to negative 11, and we're adding 18 more negatives to it, correct? So how many total negatives are we going to have?
29.
Negative 29. Number 3, we have 4 negatives, so we went from 0 to negative 4, and we have 6 more negatives. Where are we going to end? Negative 10. So a negative plus a negative is still going to be a negative answer, just like a positive plus a positive is a positive answer, right? Write a variable expression for each word phrase. 8 less than x should look like what? X minus 8. 8 less than x. We're taking 8 of them away. The product of 3 and a number, what does the word product mean? Multiply. So 3 and a number, I can use any variable. I'm going to use n. 3n. And the last one, the total of 3 and w. Total means to do what? We're adding them together. Okay, take out your highlighter. Highlight all of those black boxes with your pink highlighter. Highlight all of your black boxes with a pink. They're all negatives. Yep, tiles. No, yellow is positive. We don't have yellows. You have some yellows on your second page where you have the clear boxes. On page number 2, you can highlight those clear ones with yellow. But all the black boxes, highlight with your pink highlighter. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's start talking about these. How many of you thought adding positive and negative numbers was kind of easy? Subtracting, changing them all to addition. All of our subtraction sentences, we're going to change to addition. So it says here, to subtract an integer, add its, but opposite. To subtract an integer, add its opposite. You are going to get tired of hearing me say this phrase. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. Say it with me. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. Do it again. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. One more time. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. Your brain needs to be on repeat with that phrase. Because then you're just going to follow the same rules that I taught you in chapter 1, section 5. In the first example here, 2 minus 5. Notice they're changing the subtraction sign to an addition sign. It was a positive 5. We are going to make it a negative 5. Now, didn't we say when one is positive and one is negative, we subtract them? 5 minus 2 is 3. Which is bigger, 2 or 5? 5 is bigger and it's negative, so our answer is also negative. Over here, using algebra, it'd be the same thing. They're changing the subtraction sign to an addition sign. What are we going to change that b to? A negative b. Next example. 2 minus something equals 2 plus 5 equals 7. They changed subtraction to addition. Now look here, it's a positive 5, right? What was it before? Would have been a negative 5. This is how old Mr. Hintermeister is. He remembers being in your age, in middle school math, and me telling him this. See these two negatives next to each other, or a subtraction sign and a negative sign? He remembers me telling him that those will make one great big plus sign. He still does it that way to this day. So if you ask Mr. Hintermeister for help, he'll do that for you. That's how he'll explain it to you. That kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
You have two signs that look like negative signs sitting next to each other. Make them one great big plus sign. Okay? So down here, same thing. We're going to put a minus something, change subtraction to addition. They're showing us it's positive sign, so in parentheses it should be a negative. So we are supposed to find negative 7 minus a negative 5 using tiles. So we said that if they're red, or in your case pink, that those represent negative values, right? What does a subtraction sign mean? What does a subtraction sign mean?
Take away.
Take away, right. So could I read this as negative 7 take away 5 negatives?
Yeah.
So do I have 7 negatives there?
Yeah.
We need to take away 5 negatives, right? Okay, well if I take away 5 negatives, draw that in. Take away 5 negatives. How many negatives are you going to have left? You're going to have 2 negatives left. Now, remember what I just told you about our saying? They can make these two negatives or 2 subtraction signs can make a great big plus sign. Or change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. What is a negative 7 plus 5? Negative 2. They're the exact same thing. Exact same answer. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. They no longer match. One's positive, one's negative, right? So negative or 7 minus 5 is 2. 7's bigger. You get the negative sign from it. How about the next one? Negative 7 minus the negative 2. So we have 7 reds. Subtraction sign says to take away 2 of them. Doesn't matter what 2 I take away. How many are left? A negative 5. I still have 5 reds left. Has everybody drawn that in their notes? Now let's do it with the same Mrs. Fremen gave you. There's my 2 negatives, right? I can make one great big plus sign, or change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. The second number was negative, we're going to make it a positive. Now, negative 7 plus 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. What's bigger, 7 or 2? And it's negative, so our answer is negative. Still get a negative 5. Letter B, negative 4 minus a negative 3. Start with negative 4. Take away 3 negatives. Again, it doesn't matter what 3 negatives I take away. What are you going to have left? You're going to have negative 1 left. August, do you have that written down? Okay, good. Change it to addition. I'm making you change these to addition because your assignment makes you do this today. Okay? So, what's our saying? Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. And now solve. -4 plus 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 is bigger and negative, so it's -1. Last one. -8 minus the -5. Start with -8, take away 5 negatives. What's left behind? How many? -3. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. One's positive, one's negative. 8 minus 5. 3, which is bigger, 8 or 5? And it's negative, so our answer is negative. Any questions on that? You know which one kids usually get wrong? Those. Did you think those were really easy when we just did them? But those are the ones kids will oftentimes get wrong. Okay, next one. 0 pairs. So let me get caught up with my highlighting here to you guys. So anything that was clear is yellow. And I told you anything that was black should be pink. What did we say this week is a 0 pair? What is a 0 pair? August.
A number added or subtracted by its opposite.
Yeah, a number and its opposite. So a 0 pair would mean me handing you 1 pink and 1 yellow, right? 1 pink is a negative, 1 yellow is a positive. So 1 negative and 1 positive equals 0. It's a 0 pair, right? So here it says, using 0 pairs to subtract integers, find 2 minus 8. Well, 2 minus 8, you're starting with 2 yellows. And subtraction means to take away, correct? Well, in this question, if I start with 2 yellows, can I take away 8 yellows?
No.
I don't have 8 yellows there, do I? So this is where it comes in very, very handy to say, change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. So if I have 2 minus 8, eyes up here, please. This one is actually the most of all of them. So change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. It's a positive 8, right? So what's the opposite of a positive 8? Negative 8. So now look what they did. To the board, they started with 2 yellows. They changed subtraction to addition, changed the sign of the second number. So they ended up adding to it. Let me finish highlighting. Did they change the value of the board if they added 8 reds and 8 yellows? 0 pair, 0 pair. See, look, they got 8 0 pairs there, right? So did the value of the board really change if they added all those 0 pairs? No. Didn't change at all. So there are not enough positive tiles to take away 8, so we are going to add 8 0 pairs. We added 8 0 pairs. Now, can I start with 2 and take away 8 yellows? Now I can take away, oops, we added 6 0 pairs, I'm sorry. Not 8, we added 6 of them. Sorry about that. I can now take away those 8 tiles. And what's going to be left? How many negative tiles are left if those 8 yellows are gone?
2.
How many are left?
6.
There's 6 reds there. So 6 negative tiles are left. So 2 minus 8, let's go back up here. 2 plus a negative 8. One's positive, one's negative, right? What's 8 minus 2? No, what's 8 minus 2? 6. Which is bigger, 2 or 8? 8, and it's negative, so our answer is negative 6. Think about that on a number line right now. On a number line, we have to go to 2, and then we're supposed to take away 8 numbers, right? So if I'm supposed to take away 8 numbers, I'd go to the left, correct? So take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where did we end up? We ended up at a negative 6 too. So that's another way of thinking about it on a number line. Start with 2, take 8 numbers away on that number line. Using a rule to subtract integers. An airplane left Houston, Texas, where the temperature was 42 degrees Fahrenheit. When the airplane landed in Anchorage, Alaska, the temperature was 50 degrees Fahrenheit lower. So the temperature went down 50 degrees. What was the temperature in Anchorage? Do you all agree that 42 minus 50 would be that scenario? 42 degrees when you left Texas, right? Isn't that what it said? It drops 50 degrees. So, to subtract 50, we add its opposite. So in our expression over here, 42 minus 50, they changed subtraction to addition, and what did they change 50 to? Negative 50. 42 plus a negative 50. Well, one's positive, one's negative, right? So what's 50 minus 42? 8. Which is bigger, 50 or 42? And that's negative, so our answer is negative. The temperature in Anchorage was negative 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Is there one way that's better than another?
No.
You have to find what works best for you. Most of you are probably going to find that changing from subtraction to addition, changing this in the second number is going to be the easiest because it works for everything. Once I start getting to bigger numbers, trying to picture the number line gets kind of big, right? Okay, so look, find each difference. Difference means to subtract, right? So, I see a subtraction sign and a negative sign, so those two can make we can make it one great big plus sign, can't we? That's changing subtraction to addition and changing the sign of the second number. So what did my question just become? 32 plus 3. What is 32 plus 3? Equals 35, correct. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number. Next one, negative 40 minus 66. What should we do?
Subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number.
Okay, so change subtraction to the addition sign. Change 66 from a positive 66 to a. Okay, now I've got 40 negatives plus 66 more negatives. How many negatives do we have altogether? We have 106 negative numbers. Or 106 red tiles. 2 minus 48. What should we do? Change subtraction to addition. Change the sign of the second number. One's positive, one's negative, right? So it's 48 minus 2. 46, which is bigger. 48, and it's negative, so our answer is also negative 46. Questions there? It's easier just to remember our adding rules than to try and remember a divide or remember a subtraction rule. So change everything to addition, change the sign of the second number. You know what kids usually forget?
What?
They'll change addition to a subtraction,
Well, forget to change the
or
sign.
change subtraction to addition. They'll forget to add or take away the negative sign of the second number. That's where your mistake is going to be.
That's what I'm working on.
Okay, so that's why you have to know the whole saying. Change subtraction to addition, change the sign of the second number, or add the opposite. Last one. The lowest temperature ever recorded on the moon was about a negative 170 degrees Celsius. The lowest temperature ever recorded in Antarctica was a negative 89 degrees Celsius. Find the difference in the temperatures. What are we going to do? What is our expression?
Negative 170
Right, we're supposed to find the difference. Difference means to subtract those two numbers. So if I see two negatives next to each other, what are we going to do?
Make a big plus.
Make a great big plus sign. So it's going to become negative 170 plus 89. One's negative, one's positive, so now what? One's negative and one's positive. What are we going to do? Don't I subtract these two numbers? Ten minus 9? 1. Can I take 6 minus 8?
No.
So we got to borrow there. 16 minus 8?
8.
So we get 81. Are we done?
No.
Which was bigger? The 170 or the 89? And that's negative, so our answer is negative 81 what? Degrees Celsius. Any questions? There's your assignment.